Howdy, folks. Gather round for my mortgage hound, the live stream that's hotter than a Montana sunrise. I'm your guide through the wild frontier of real estate and mortgages, and I've got a special shout out to Cody, our very own trailblazer in the homeownership journey. Today, we're rustling up excitement as we focus on a luxurious gem in Whitefish, Montana. Cody, this one's for you and all our amazing viewers. Picture sprawling landscapes, breathtaking views, and a home that's as grand as the Big Sky State itself. We're diving deep into the heart of homeownership dreams, breaking down the ins and outs of mortgages, and giving you an exclusive tour of a stunning property that'll leave you yearning for life on the frontier. But this ain't just a show, it's a conversation. Cody, drop your questions, comments, and cowboy emojis in the chat. Your voice guides the direction of this road day. So grab your coffee, put on your favorite hat, and join me along with Cody and the rest of our posse. We're rounding up the herd, and you won't want to miss this wild ride through the best in Whitefish, Montana real estate. Howdy, folks. Gather round for my mortgage hound, the live stream that's hotter than a Montana sunrise. I'm your guide through the wild frontier of real estate and mortgages, and I've got a special shout out to Cody, our very own trailblazer in the homeownership.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're at in the world. If you're in Montana, which we're going to be looking at heavily today, it is 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock our time. Thanks for joining us on another episode of My Mortgage Hound. Got a special one for you today. I'm very excited. I've been working with Lori for some time on setting this up. As many of you know, I'm now licensed in Montana, so we're going to be taking a look at Whitefish, Montana today. We have an awesome luxury home set up, ready to look at. But a couple housekeeping items. As you guys know, if you've watched in the past, all the interest rates we're going to be using today are pulled from MortgageNewsDaily.com. Mortgage News Daily is my go-to source for national average interest rates that aren't influenced by a company. They got great articles on what's going on with interest rates. If there's Fed announcements, anything like this is my go-to resource to get a good idea of what's going on. And as you see, we continue to see interest rates improve. It wasn't that long ago, maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we were on the show looking at interest rates in the very low eights. Today, the national average for 30-year fixed mortgages is 7.09. That's down a little bit from last week. FHA and VA down to 6.43. So we are now officially in the low sixes. Last week we were at 6.55, so down just a little bit from last week. This is all really good news, and the timing couldn't be better going into the slower season. Like we talked about last week, there are opportunities right now to go find those good deals, negotiate with the sellers, it being the off season. That in combination with a dip in rates of almost a full percent in the last 6 weeks really can make this a good time if that right opportunity presents itself for you guys to make an offer. Jumbos, which we're going to be looking at today, 7.55. As we see rates improve, we're going to see that margin between 30-year fixed conventional and jumbo being a loan amount over 750, start to widen. When rates were higher, they were almost the same. And now we're starting to see that margin increase a little bit. So that's interest rates for today. Let's take a look at some market data sent to us by Gavin Hutkins over at Berkshire Hathaway. In Clark County, this last week, we saw 153 new listings, up 66% from the week prior. The reason we see that jump, obviously, is because of Thanksgiving. Not a lot of listings going active the week of Thanksgiving, so that's why we see such a big increase. But it is good to see. 153 new homes came on the market last week. 138 homes went pending. which is up 14%. And that's a little surprising that people were out making offers the week of Thanksgiving. Listings sold, so transactions that closed that week, 117, up 48%. So all these are all good numbers. I think it's a combination of interest rates improving, people having time off to go shop. So all of those are good numbers. So last week we kind of did something different and we threw out some questions. And I think we should do the same thing this week. So if you guys are watching and you have any questions that you think would be good to ask a real estate agent, whether you're a first-time home buyer, a move-up buyer, or you're buying your luxury home on a lake in Whitefish, Montana, what are some good questions we should be asking our real estate agents? And Lori, if you're here, if you just want to chime in the chat so I know that you're here, that would be helpful. We might call Lori in when we look at her property on my speakerphone. We were trying to get her in on video, but we couldn't get the connection to work, so we might figure that out for next time. All right, you guys ready to dive in? We're only doing one home today. I wanted to keep it kind of streamlined because I think we're going to spend some time on this home. So this might be a shorter one, but it's going to be good. Good morning, Gavin. Gavin doesn't join us very often, but we're glad to see him. He's the one that sent us that market data. I didn't get the lockbox activity, Gavin, this week, but that's always really handy to have. If you want to share that info in the chat, that would be great. If you have it, no big deal. Okay. Let's go to Whitefish, Montana. 21 Marina Crest Lane in Whitefish, Montana. I've been in Montana quite a bit. Been to Whitefish once. We're going again this summer. Some friends of ours and my wife go to the Under the Big Sky Music Festival, which if you are looking for something fun to do in Montana in July, the Under the Big Sky Music Festival is incredible. It's a 3-day music festival in a beautiful spot. They have a rodeo going on. They have some of the best country western musicians. I loved Whitefish. I fell in love with Whitefish. The downtown area is awesome. You can take a train from downtown Vancouver, Washington, in Clark County, where we're at. I think the train leaves at 5 p.m. And you can get a sleeper cart, and then you're there at 7 a.m. the next day. It's also not a bad drive. We drove last time. It takes about 10 hours to get to Whitefish from Clark County, so not bad at all. Real estate there has absolutely boomed. I think a lot of it has to do with, one, it being beautiful. People leaving states like California, moving to places like Idaho, Texas, and Montana. All right. You guys ready to dive in? All right, Lori's having problem with the chat, so let's see if we can call her in. Let's call her in and see if this works. The pros and cons of live streaming. If you guys are on the chat, please let me know how this sounds. Make sure the audio is coming through.
Hi, Cody.
Lori, how are you? I can. I think everyone else can hear you too. We went old school and just doing a phone call instead of trying to get fancy with the video, but next time we will. We'll get it to work.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, my technical difficulties over on this end, I'm not sure.
No, it's not you. It's me. Trying to run 3 cameras and multiple microphones and handle the recording and editing all live while doing the show.
That's a little multitasking right there.
All right, so Gavin says that everyone can hear you just fine. I don't know if you heard the first few minutes of the show, but I was just talking about my experience in whitefish. Maybe give us a little background on you and why you're doing real estate in Montana as well here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Grew up in Helena, Montana. My father owned his own brokerage, so I grew up doing the real estate thing. Been all over the state as a kid with real estate and just, growing up camping, going to concerts, fishing, skiing, you name it, everything that Montana has to offer. So being licensed in Oregon and Washington, I thought it would behoove me to get my Montana license since I know pretty much the entire state. It would be easy for me to work here. Plus, I grew up here and have a huge network.
Well, awesome. And you're one of the reasons I got my Montana license as we plan to kind of expand our territory into Montana. So tell us a little bit about this listing, where it's located, and then we'll dive into the pictures. Are you watching live? Can you see the pictures as well?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can, definitely. So this home is absolutely gorgeous. It was built, probably finished in 2022. So it's brand new. It sits right off the lake. So it is called the Bay Point Estate, which just sits on a knoll overlooking Whitefish Lake. So great location. And it has a deep water slip, which is very rare for homes that aren't sitting on the lake. So to walk down to your private beach area and where the docks sit is about a 2-minute walk from this home. And then if you want to go to the ski hill, it is a 10-minute drive up to the hill. So it's best of both worlds for anybody who's looking for, summer activity and winter activity all being within, 20 minutes of each other. And then if you want to go further out, I believe it's like 30 minutes, you can be to the west entrance of Glacier.
Oh, wow.
So, and then you're only 45, 50 minutes from the Canadian border. So there's a lot to do in this particular spot.
Well, I have lots of questions, but before we dive into the pictures, I know we're gonna cover the slip. I see that here. When you say deep water slip, is Whitefish Lake, is that mostly motorboats, or do you have sailboats out there too?
Mostly motorboats.
Okay. So would it be deep enough for a sailboat if somebody wanted to bring one out? Do you know?
Yeah. I have seen them out there. It's just more of a rarity because people generally will go to the bigger lake, which is Flathead. So Whitefish Lake is not that huge, just maybe 10 acres.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of buyer do you see buying these type of homes in Whitefish? Are these people that are going to use it as a vacation rental, as a second home, as a retirement primary residence, all the above? What do you see?
Well, yeah, Cody, all of the above. But when COVID hit and people could work more from home, you have a lot of people that are here as a full-time resident. So that sort of has changed things. You've seen a lot of growth in town, new restaurants, a lot of new businesses coming in because people are staying here for the most part year round.
How are the locals treating the new people? Because obviously I did a Yellowstone knockoff on my intro today and on my social media this week. And I know that Whitefish in Montana in general is blowing up. And a lot of people from states like California, Oregon, Washington. How are the locals adapting to the rapid growth of out-of-towners?
I mean, there is definitely some growing pains. For the most part, the locals that I know and talk to, they like it. They welcome it. It's new revenue for the state, new businesses. So for the most part, everyone is happy about it. But there is, there's traffic that never used to be here now. And so it's just trying to get that all ironed out. Any city would have that when they have growth.
Sure.
such as Montana has experienced in the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, good. Okay, we ready to dive into some pictures?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So before we do, we're looking at a 6-bed, 6-bath, 5,400 square feet. And Bay Point Treasure, like you talked about. So this house is coming fully furnished.
It is, yes. I mean, when we say fully furnished, they have another home, so they've moved a few of the things. But yes, I mean, all beds are staying, the dining room table, couches, all of that, just like some artwork and personal stuff. But yes, it's fully furnished.
Perfect. Well, let's take
Move-in ready.
Is this a 1-level?
It is not. It's a 2-level. You pull up to the garage, and to the right, you can walk into the home, which brings you into the entry. Walk in, and you come into the kitchen area, which is a very open living floor plan. And the master is on, or the main bedroom is on the main floor. And down below, you have the big media room, the rest of the bedrooms. And I believe she has a gym and a crafts room down there as well.
Now, a couple things I noticed in this first picture. Talk to me about the local wildlife, because when I've stayed there before, there's been wildlife everywhere, including deer, bear. I see some fences set up. What kind of wildlife are you expected in a property like this?
Anything in the Whitefish area or Kalispell, in this area, what you're going to have turkeys in your yard, you're going to have deer in your yard, you will have the bears in your yard. It's just commonplace. And the cycle, it comes and goes, but bears really will be gone for the most part by the end of November, and not back until spring.
Sure.
So you don't really too much have to worry about bears, and as long as you're good with your garbage and not putting it out until it's garbage day, then you really shouldn't have a problem with the bears hanging out too much. They might just pass through.
Good morning, Diana. Thanks for joining us. All right, so there's a photo of Whitefish Lake, and I'm assuming the slips on the right belong to this house, correct? But maybe not seen that picture yet. That brings up another question too, Lori. What are the HOAs, if any, on this house?
There is not an HOA.
So is there any maintenance that the homeowner is going to be required for that dock?
That I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the CC&Rs on that, but I can definitely, if anybody has questions about that, I certainly can get you that information, because I'm sure there is something that they all share in maintaining the dock and probably cleaning up the beach area at the end of the year, because there is a barbecue area and facility. So I can get that information from the seller.
Well, I'm sure the type of person that wants to move to Montana will like the fact that there's not a HOA.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Okay, so when can we expect Whitefish to look like this picture, covered in snow? What time of year does that normally happen?
Well, normally it happens anywhere between mid-November to mid-December. Right now, it's not the best of the snow year right now. For instance, like right now, there is a couple inches on the ground. Last year when I came at this time, there were probably 2 to 3 feet on the ground, and the lake was completely frozen. You could ski across it.
Oh, wow.
So every year is a little different, but yeah, I mean, normally that's what your expectation would be. The ski hill opens also in that time frame, anywhere from the end of November, Thanksgiving time, to the first few weeks in December.
And is Whitefish as a town, is it still pretty busy during the winter? Or the snow, I would assume, doesn't shut the city down. It's pretty active, like a ski community, right?
No, it's totally the opposite. Yeah, no, this is definitely a ski town. There's so much activity here. So you can do cross-country skiing, up and, downhill skiing, snowmobiling. They have dog sledding. They have ski journeying. So if any of those activities, just getting out snowshoeing, there's just a ton to do here in the winter. So it's very lively. They have winter festivals that are a lot of fun. So it's very lively here. So if you're asking about like when it's quiet in Whitefish, really the quiet time here is April, May, and I would say October, November. Other than that, it's pretty busy.
Perfect. So here's our slip. Nice front porch. I love the front door. What do you call those split doors? Is it a farm door, barn door, farm door? What do you call the split doors? I can't remember.
Yeah, those are like a barn door style.
Yeah, very cool. So here's our entry. So obviously new construction, would be obviously up to date. See the black windows, the white paint on the outside. Very nice hardwoods. I'm assuming you're in the house now, correct? I can hear you walking.
Yes.
So I'm assuming those are real beams. Those aren't faux beams in the kitchen. Is that correct?
That's correct. They're real beams. They're beautiful. Yeah, this was a custom built home. The owner spent a ton of time with the builder hand picking everything in this home.
So the counters and the backsplash, do you know what those are?
They are a Caesar stone.
Okay, and the backsplash is the same as the counters, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So huge slabs.
And you'd expect to see this in this price range, but a huge slab with a backsplash that goes all the way to the top of the cabinets. It's really something.
Yeah, it's very elegant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they have the farm sink. I don't know if you can see that in the photo.
Yes, and a pretty fancy looking range.
Yes.
Dual ovens.
Beautiful range. Yes, she's quite the cooker. So the kitchen was a huge deal for her.
And I'm assuming
and
to the
hot water that comes out from the stove, so you can just fill your pots.
Perfect.
There.
And I'm assuming to the right of the stove is a built-in refrigerator. Is that correct?
No, I don't know if it shows that in one of the photos. So to the right of the stove, you see a cabinet, but actually you open up the drawers or the cabinet doors and you walk through it. So there should be a photo that shows it. So really what it is a whole hidden pantry. So I just open the doors, you walk back, and it is probably 15 feet long.
Okay, we can see it now. I will go back and look at the pictures. I just skipped everybody, but I want to see this. This is pretty cool. So we can see the entry to the secret pantry.
Right. Yeah, it's great. It's really a cool space. Back here they have a small cooler with wine and then sodas. They also have a heating area. So it's great. It's all set up for entertainment. But the one thing I love about this type of space, I mean, it's just totally tucked away. Nobody would even know it's there.
This would be great if you're bringing in a caterer for a party, because they have a whole space
absolutely.
to prep.
Yeah, that's what she loves to entertain. So she wanted to be able to have like the mess and everything not in the main area, but they didn't want to have a massive house. So they thought that this was just a great idea to have it hidden behind the doors. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, so if I going back through some of the other kitchen pictures. So there's our refrigerators to the left of the sink, built into the cabinets.
Yes, that is.
So cool. There's your farm sink you mentioned.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see the huge lights. I don't think the photos do the pendant lights justice.
Over the island?
Over the island, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just massive. They're beautiful.
Oops.
They're probably each 1.5 feet at the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay. So now we're into the living room, great room area. So talk to me about that fireplace. Is that a wood burning or is that a gas fireplace? It's hard to tell from this picture.
That is an all stone fireplace, and it is gas.
And on this house, are we looking at propane or is there natural gas ran to the property?
Yeah, there's gas throughout the Whitefish. So it's natural gas.
Perfect. And it looks like we're looking through our windows out to a back patio off of the great room.
Yes, yeah. So it opens up. It's very private back there. It's wooded, so this lot is roughly about a half-acre lot. And the neighbor to the left of this property, it's a very large parcel, and they keep it wooded. They have no plans of development. And so this is very private in the back. And they just kept it natural for the most part. That they didn't, there's no real gardening. It's just natural Montana woods back behind you.
So low maintenance.
Definitely low maintenance.
Talk to me about the ceiling. I think I'm in either the dining room or maybe a breakfast nook with hardwoods on the ceiling.
Yes, yeah. So they wanted to, create more of a cozy feeling in the dining area. So they wanted to add the wood on the ceiling area to just bring it down, feel cozy, opposed to the pitched ceiling.
Wow.
And then again, you have the slab stone with the sink and everything to the right. I don't know if you can see that in the photos.
Yeah, we're looking at it now.
Okay, yeah. So as you come into the dining, sit down, and then you've got your glasses, you have a little wet bar. So easy access. You don't have to run around to the kitchen if you need anything.
It's cool how you got a nice big entry into the dining room, but that ceiling really separates the room from the great room.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to create that cozy, warm feeling, but yet capturing all the views. So it's all windows basically in the dining area, which hopefully the photos do show that.
Yes.
So you got, the great views of the woods to your right and then straight out to the back. And to the right, there's a neighbor, but you can't see them either because there's just a bunch of trees in between the properties.
All right, so now we're in the master bedroom.
Okay.
Again, massive windows, beautiful chandelier.
I'm heading that way since I actually cannot see the photos when you're reading them. So, so just right off the kitchen is the master.
So this is the master on the main image.
It is, yes. And so it also has doors that open, sliders that open up to the deck that you see on the great room.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really no need to have window coverings if somebody didn't want them, since there is really nothing in the back but the woods. And then you walk into the main bathroom area. It's all tile floor. That is also the Caesar stone. that matches. So throughout the house, you're going to see the Caesar stone throughout, either as the floor or as the slab on the cabinet counters.
I like how they did not bring that up to the counters in the bathroom. Looks like a different type of stone. Really adds a lot of contrast.
Yeah, it does. But yet it's a warm caramel that is pulling from the tile on the floor. So, and the carpet, I don't know if you can see it, it is also sort of that taupe warm tone.
Yes.
And then you walk in, and there is a walk-in closet, which, and I don't know if it's photoed there.
I see a big barn door on the closet.
Yes, yeah, big barn door, wider, and it opens up. So then you have like a little chandelier and built-ins the whole way around with a large window and a sitting area.
Oh yeah, see that here. We got the office area.
Yes.
All right, so now we're in a guest bedroom 1. Very nice. I like how the chandeliers kind of tie all the bedrooms together. It's pretty cool.
I wish I could see the photo because I'm wondering if it is the guest bedroom because this home, so on the main level, I forgot to mention, so it has a hallway. So we just came out of the master. And as you walk down the hallway, there's a door to your left, which is the laundry area, which is right off the garage.
Okay, we're not there yet. It looks like we're in a bedroom that has an attached bathroom.
Do you see so as I keep going down that hallway, there is an ADU. So if I open up the door, it is on the main level with its own, of course, outdoor access. It has the bedroom, attached bathroom, and then the full kitchen. So I don't know if you're there yet.
I think that's what we're looking at. I can see the door going into the ADU.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So great area. For this family, they had a son who needed his own space. So he could have his own space, leave and go as he wanted. His door just comes out to the front of the house on the far right. And full kitchen, beautiful, same flooring throughout.
I think this is so cool because being in Montana, you're going to have a lot of guests, right?
Exactly.
Especially when, like we talked about yesterday, the Under the Big Sky Music Festival coming out. What a great way to give people their own space.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that has worked out well for them. And then they also have the extra space, depending on whoever bought this home. But yeah, there's the other bedrooms as well. And there is a full laundry in the ADU.
And we're in a laundry room now. We're just kind of looking. There's a Downy and a Tide painting on the wall, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so that is the main.
That's the main laundry.
Yes. Yeah. So as you come off in from the garage, you'd be walking into this area.
Okay, now we're in a great room with another gas fireplace.
Okay. So now you're downstairs.
Okay.
So this will be where the rest of the bedrooms are. Yeah. So it has another great room for entertaining and just hanging out. This was like their TV area, gaming spot.
It looks like they have a gym down there.
They do, right. So you have the great room is the main room, and then off of that, you have the gym to the right side, and next to that you have her office, which also was like her craft room, and with tons of built-ins. So I don't know if you've got that photo up yet.
I think we're close. There's the gym. Okay, I'm in the craft room, and I'm sure a lot of people would use this as a craft room, okay? But I'm in Montana. I'm on Whitefish Lake. What am I going to use this room for?
I mean, you could use it for storing
For tying flies.
What?
For tying flies.
Well, yeah. There you go.
Everybody that's watched a River Runs Through It wants to live in Montana and fly fish and go find that exact spot where Brad Pitt did that beautiful cast.
Absolutely. This could totally be a few tweaks to it and be a fly room.
I wouldn't need to tweak it at all. That storage, I mean, it's really set up for a lot of things. But I would use it as a fly tie. And there's even a wet bar where I can be drinking whiskey while I'm tying my flies. But no, this is a great room. And, you know, a couple things I noticed looking at this craft room is there's 2 desks. So it could be half she shed, half fly tying room.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. There's lots of space. It's very spacious. So tall ceilings down here. Yeah, that would be great. Great spot.
Oh yeah, there's even a better picture.
You've got your workout room.
There's 3 desks in there.
Yes, there is 3 desks.
You could start a whole Etsy. This could be your Etsy factory. You can start a whole Etsy business in this room. Have employees.
Okay, so you're selling online flies. Best fly. You're gonna go fish to Missouri or Madison or.
Oh yeah, this is a really cool room.
It is, yeah. It is well thought out. Sure. So, and then also on that right wall, this might have been the first bedroom that you started at, since it seems like the photos progress that way. So there is a bedroom.
I think I'm in the ADU kitchen now.
Closest to the woods in the back. So it has windows that you can see on the right and directly out. And then in that great room, you also have the slider doors that lead to a lower deck.
I'm backing up. I think I know where you're at. So that all that room behind the sofa in that great room would be great for what?
Oh, well, they had
It would be great for a pool table.
Yeah, they had big game tables out. So shuffleboard, I think, is what they have back there.
Whenever we look at listings, I can always find a spot for a pool table.
Well, this house, yeah, you could definitely put one there too, maybe 2. So, you know, dueling.
Okay, so kind of going through the rest of these pictures fairly quickly. I've been kind of skipping back and forth. Beautiful home. You can definitely see it's well thought out. The ADU is awesome. All the bedrooms downstairs. I mean, you could really bring a group out to go skiing, music festivals. You can see how relocating to Montana, this home, obviously at its price point, you're going to get all those bells and whistles. But what a great place to bring out people you care about, friends, family. I think it's awesome. We're gonna move on to looking at some numbers on this home. Anything else you want to share?
Let's see. You know, the home. Yes, so you know, there is it's security. There's security cameras built in. It's not a gated community, but it is a very private community. There's only I think 10 to 12 houses on this street. So it's a cul-de-sac. There is not a lot of coming and going. So it's kind of nice to, as busy as Whitefish gets, to sort of be in your own private nook where it isn't as if you just want to get away. So yeah, it's a great location.
Is that I'm looking at a drone picture of the back deck. Is that a screen for a projector? What is that I see?
Oh, okay. So yeah, there is 3 decks on this house. So the upper deck, sort of off of where the ADU is, it is set up for watching movies in the summer. Typically,
so
they
cool.
have heating lamps and they have chairs out there, and it is a projector.
That is so cool.
So it is very cool. And when you're sitting out there, that is sort of where the peekaboo view of the lake is. So it's really beautiful to sit there and watch, and then you get the glimmer off the lake.
Yeah, we can see that in this photo here. All right, so we're gonna dive. Oh, I can see from the drone footage, the one of the last pictures, you can see the ski resort in the back.
Yes, yeah.
Very
so
cool.
really, you are super close.
Yeah.
And it's a great mountain. If any of the viewers are unfamiliar with it, it really is a great ski hill.
Okay, Lori, before I let you go and I dive into the numbers here, in this price range in Whitefish, what are you seeing as far as financing, cash? What are you seeing buyers do? Are they putting lots of down payments, or are we talking a lot of cash buyers? What would you expect a buyer from a financing standpoint to look like on this house?
Well, that's kind of changed. To answer that question, I would say, when rates were much lower, you were seeing a lot of cash buyers. But now you are seeing pretty hefty down payments. But at least half is being financed, is what we're seeing.
Okay, good. Well, Lori, thank you so much for doing that walkthrough with us. Next time we do one of these, hopefully we can get you on video. But I'm going to let you go. We'll dive into some numbers here. If you could stay on the chat, that would be great. Answer any questions people have. And then I will have Lori's contact information in the description. Lori, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Really, the best way and the quickest way is a text. To be honest, texting me at my 503-880-9876.
You just gave that number to the whole world, which is probably a good thing, but good.
Yeah, but really that is, because if I'm in the middle of something, it's hard for me to answer the phone. So really, I prefer a text because I have all the info right there at my hands. And if I'm busy, I can get to it quickly. So that really is the best way.
And if people are in Whitefish today, they can come see it, that you're holding the house open. Is that correct?
We're not holding it open just because the owners are here. But yeah, if I am here, if anybody wants to see it, I'm here through Wednesday. Definitely can come and see the home.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Lori. Would love to have you on again. So we'll move on to the numbers, but thanks for doing that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Cody. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, Lori.
Bye.
All right. See, even when technology lets you down, just whip out the speakerphone. So hopefully you guys heard her okay. I thought that was a pretty, I've never done that where we have an agent actually be able to talk through the listing. Normally it's just me giving my personal opinion. So that was great having Lori on. So let's take a look at some numbers. So like Lori said, as interest rates have gone up, so have down payments. People are bringing in more money in this price range. When you are looking at homes in this price range, and first-time home buyers, all buyers in general, we like to say we help people finance a home in a smart way. But when you're talking large sums of money, we're really looking at using this as leverage, either to have tax benefits or leverage our funds to where it makes sense, where we're making money off our money, right? The reason why a less of a down payment in a 4% or a 3% interest rate market, I can go and take that money and make more than that. When we approach 7-8%, that's when it really pays to sit down, use some software like this, and go through all the numbers. And work with a financial advisor. We always ask all of our clients if they have a financial planner or advisor they're working with, that we can be in contact and brainstorm and be a team together. So let's dive into this one. In this example here, there's our purchase price of just under $4.5 million. I did 30% down. We can take a look if we have time here at 50% down. But if we just did 30%, we're looking at financing $3.146 million. Again, Mortgage News Daily jumbo rates today, 7.55 is our national average. And here's our payment breakdown. So again, there's our purchase price. Principal interest, $22,108 at the 7.55%. Any details? Yes, rates are looking much better. So we're at 22 grand for our payment. Property taxes. So this is true whether you're buying a $4.5 million house in Whitefish or you're buying a condo in Clark County for your first home. On new construction, so Lori said this home was built in 2022. It's not tax assessed yet. And that was one question, Lori, if you're on the chat. Here in Clark County, tax assessments usually happen in February. So I'm assuming it's probably similar there. So I went to smartasset.com, what I like to go to if there's not property taxes assessed yet, to get an idea of what we can expect for property taxes. The average county tax rate in Flathead County is 0.91%. So that would make our annual tax bill $36,000. So I've transferred that number over here to property taxes at $3,000 a month. Thanks, Gavin. I'll cover those before we end. The lockbox activity. Homeowners insurance. I could really benefit from an insurance agent being on these on the Mortgage Hound live stream. Home in that range, I can anticipate property taxes somewhere between $300 and $600 a month, really depending on which insurance company you choose to use and what coverages you elect. So if we add these three payments together, we get a total monthly payment of $25,408. It's a large payment, but you're getting a lot. I mean, you're getting very exclusive property and an exclusive price tag to match. I'd be curious if Lori is still on. Brian may even have a quick answer to this, of what we could expect if we were using this as a short-term rental. As far as rents go. Okay, so 30% down would be 1.3 million. That's represented here in a loan to value percentage of 70%. Closing costs on a home like this, typically your closing costs aren't going to fluctuate a whole lot from property to property, but when you do jump into a price tag like $4.5 million, you're going to see your title and escrow fees increase quite a bit. So in this example, we're looking at $76.91. The majority of that's going to be your title and escrow fees. We charge a flat $14.50 to do the loan. That would be included in there. County recording fees. Again, on the Mortgage News Daily website, all their rates, if you click on the fine print, are not including points. So I did not include any points here. We're running short on time, but I'm not going to dive into it. Maybe next time I can bring this exact example back up, because when we are at this loan amount, buying points becomes very, very important, that you are doing it in a very strategic way. But in this example, no points. Prepaid taxes, insurance, and interest, about $30,000 there. Most of that's going to be your prepaid taxes. Now, a lot of people in this price range would probably want to pay their property taxes on their own, which would bring that number down dramatically. So in summary, $25,408 a month with 1.3, almost 1.4 million out of pocket. Details says $450 to $700 a night for short term. I think that's pretty low. I guess it depends on what time of year it is too. We were just looking at short-term rentals in Whitefish for this summer's Under the Big Sky Music Festival, and they were charging more than that for like a 2,000 square foot home. All right, thanks Gavin for throwing that information in. So if we go back to kind of what we talked about in the very beginning as far as market data, inventory is up to 3.7 months. That's quite a big difference from where we were just a few months ago. Oregon lockbox activity is down 31%. Clark County was up 54%. It's interesting that how the two counties were different in lockbox activity, but it's really hard to pinpoint what's causing that on the week of Thanksgiving. All right, guys. What did you think of our Yellowstone edition today? If you haven't, please like and subscribe. We do this every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. If you have any ideas for homes you'd like to see, themes for the episodes, please share those. I also want some questions. If you guys have questions on home buying or mortgages or the process, inspections, insurance, please put those in the comments or add them to an email to me. I think I'm going to start doing a separate video once a week where we answer viewers' questions, maybe go into more detail, especially if it's something regarding points or that kind of stuff. So there you go. Thanks, Gavin. Thanks, Details. Thanks, Diana. Thank you, Lori, for being on today. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.